WCBI News at 10 starts now.
Thank you for tuning in tonight. I'm Tommy Lopez. We start with a fire in Columbus. It heavily damaged a home on Columbus's north side tonight. Firefighters responded to this fire. It was in the 1500 block of 22nd Street North. It was just before 7:30 tonight. When they arrived, there was smoke coming out of the rear of that house. Witnesses report that there were 7 people inside when the fire broke out, but they all managed to get out safely. Most of the damage appeared to be in the back area of the house. There were no reported injuries. It's cases of explicit content inside area schools. A recent review by the state auditor's office finds that some Mississippi school districts are not effectively blocking objectionable content from students' computers. Our Allie Martin talked with some area administrators about the measures that they take to make sure that kids aren't getting a hold of inappropriate material.
So then we would be here, so our ordered pair would be...
Each student in this 5th grade math class at Plantersville Middle School has a laptop. The computers stay at the school and are a vital part of the lesson plans. While the laptops, Chromebooks, and iPads are an educational tool, there are safeguards in place to make sure students don't intentionally or accidentally come across explicit content.
Currently, we have a firewall and a content filter set up for the district.
Brian Newton is technology coordinator for Lee County Schools. He says any device that accesses the district's Wi-Fi goes through the firewall and the filtering system. The state auditor's office recently tested 18 schools within 9 school districts to determine security controls of online activities. The schools were part of the One-to-One initiative. That program allows students to take school-issued laptops home during the semester. Out of 150 devices tested, 20% contained explicit material. Lee County schools are not part of the One-to-One initiative.
There are good points and bad points to everything. Of course, if they take those devices home, school districts are still responsible for safeguards on those devices, but that's just not something that we do.
While students are tech savvy, Newton and his team are always updating security measures, and they keep detailed records of online usage.
There is a separate reporter for that content filter system that we can go in and pull logs. Currently, right now, we have probably a year's worth of logs that we can go back and look at if there's a need to.
Newton estimates there are 1,500 devices for student use throughout the Lee County School District. In Tupelo, I'm Allie Martin, WCBI News.
The auditor's office recommended that the Mississippi Department of Education set policies for all districts regarding the installation of those internet filters and monitoring procedures. Let's go to our weather tonight. Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson is in with us. Keith, we see some storms near us, but nothing too bad in our area today.
No, we've had a big storm system in the region, but we've just had the wind, no storms. A few showers this evening, but look at all those storms off to the east right now, continuing to move to the east. But in the wake of that system, it is still breezy, sustained wind 10 to 25 with some higher gusts right now. We have seen some trees come on over today because of those gusty winds, and it looks like that wind will relax a little bit tonight, but it will flare back up tomorrow. And once again, we may see some wind gusts up to about 40 miles per hour. Cooler on Thursday, Tommy. Look at this, mid-60s. The full forecast in just a few minutes.
Yeah, Keith. All right, thank you. There's a brief scare on the Tenn-Tom waterway this afternoon. 1 or 2 barges managed to get loose for a short time today. The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers says that a towboat was able to secure the barges. Lowndes County deputies and Columbus police went to that scene. No one was injured. There were barges there that were secured in less than an hour. After nearly 4 years of construction, the new section of Highway 25 in Monroe County is just days away from opening to traffic. There's a ribbon-cutting ceremony today for that 2-lane road. The new stretch connects from Aberdeen into Amory and will also have the capability to connect to portions of Alabama. Amory Mayor Brad Blaylock says that having this new connector will help with the city's traffic flow.
is really about helping people, being able to provide them with access to goods to purchase in a simpler, faster, more economical way with their vehicles is always a good thing. Being able to provide our emergency response teams access to get maybe to an accident scene quicker.
That road is set to open Thursday of next week. Many leaders say the opening of Highway 25 is a big accomplishment. But Northern District Transportation Commissioner Mike Taggart says that state roads and bridges are in critical need of repairs still. Legislators failed to pass the budget for the Department of Transportation during this regular session. Our Quentin Smith spoke with state leaders about what's next.
I think our leadership on the House and the Senate side both recognize the need. Unfortunately, they just disagree on the approach and how to solve that issue.
Northern District Transportation Commissioner Mike Taggart says the State Department of Transportation is at a standstill. The agency is waiting on lawmakers to create a budget. There's also a dire need to fix crumbling roads and bridges.
Basic, safe, and a comprehensive road and bridge system is a part of the function of government. So with that, we need to prioritize within our existing budget or with new revenue, whichever the legislature chooses to do.
I think the first thing we need to do is stop having tax breaks for cronies, stop having tax breaks for shopping center developers, and take the existing tax money that we have and use it for basic infrastructure.
Governor Phil Bryant hears the concerns and says lawmakers must address the issue.
One of the things I think we need to do is address our transportation system. If we go through a special session without addressing that, we have not done our job, so we're going to work hard on that.
Taggart understands the state's budget needs more revenue. However, he says there are other ways to bring more money into the state.
There's the user fee, which is basically the fuel tax, internet sales tax, which has been a recent issue, to include lotteries, which have been a recent issue and a recent proposal. So all of those are fair game.
Here's what Bryant has to say about an internet sales tax.
There is certainly a discussion. There are hurdles that need to be cleared, not only from Congress but court-wise, but certainly there'll be some discussion about that, but we have to do it within the constitutional framework of what the law allows.
Yeah, a lot of ideas there. Governor Bryant has not set a date for that special session. 3 years after a deadly tornado came through Winston County, plant workers are celebrating a milestone. State and local elected officials were there today at the Winston Plywood and Veneer plant. They held an official grand opening. $130 million went into the 300,000 square foot facility. The tornado destroyed the former facility in April of 2014. Louisville Mayor Will Hill says that today is an opportunity to show appreciation and celebrate how far the community has come.
It just means so much to this community. It's been a long time coming, and as you guys have covered us over the last several years, and we appreciate that, but watching us get to this point, and this is really just the beginning, because now it's about the company and their success and making a profit, and the better they do, the better the community's going to do.
Hill says the entire month is a community celebration of how far they've come since the deadly tornado. They'll wrap up the month with the Winston Medical Center ribbon cutting.
All right, some nice sunset pictures across the viewing area this evening on the backside of the big system moving on in. The calm after the big storm, well, we didn't even get a storm around here today, just a lot of wind. More on that, let's just look ahead at the weekend next.
Your first alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Keith Gibson.
You know, back in college on Wednesday, we'd be looking forward to the weekend, sometimes on a Tuesday. So it's always good to look at the weekend coming. And this weekend, it is going to be gorgeous. 72 sunny on Saturday. There could be some morning frost around. We're in the 30s here Saturday morning. By Sunday, though, back to around 80 with a lot of sunshine. Now, tomorrow in New Albany, here in northeast Mississippi, 47 at 8, 58 by noon. A lot of sunshine here during the day, and those winds, obviously, 62 by 4 o'clock. Much different than what we had out there today, with low and mid 60s versus the upper 70s to mid 80s that we had out there today. There's the wind advisory, all of us included in that. Wind gusts between 30 and 40 miles per hour still possible. Let's go to Tupelo and show you our Alpha Insurance time lapse from this evening. Some of those clouds building on in, a few lighter showers around the region this evening. Don't forget, in Tupelo on Saturday morning from 10 to 12, we're programming weather radios at the West Main Kroger just to prepare you for more possible storms later on the storm season. We've been dodging storm system after storm system over the last week, the big ones. Just some light showers here in our viewing area tonight. So it's certainly good to avoid some of these storms, but you know we're going to get them at some point. The strongest storm is now rumbling well to the southeast of our region from Atlanta again. More storms in Atlanta down here to far southeastern Alabama, another complex down there in the Carolinas. Earlier today, I was at West Lowndes Elementary School talking to the first graders right there. No storms in the region today, so I could get outside of the studio and talk to those great first graders right there. Go to our website, WCBI.com, if you want a weather visit to your school. Fill out the form, and we'll get an email, and we'll schedule something for you. All right, temperatures right now into the mid-50s across our region. Cold air coming on in, still breezy, sustained wind about 10 to 20. That's where we'll be tonight, gusting to about 25. So we've really come on down with the gusts. But once we get into the daylight tomorrow, we'll see a few more of those breezes above 30 miles per hour. That system is on the way out. Perhaps a few residual clouds later tonight and tomorrow. But the big story here, high pressure comes on in for Friday and your weekend. And we eventually get on the backside of high pressure, and that means some warmer temperatures here. So some cooler weather for Thursday and Friday, 60s. There's that frost that Friday night, perhaps mid-30s, Tommy. But the weekend, gorgeous. We stay warm early next week. Our next chance for rain, Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. That will not be a severe weather maker, obviously.
Yeah, pretty good extended forecast, but sustained winds, you said, gusty winds still into tomorrow.
Yeah, we die things down tonight, but it's going to be not as bad tomorrow, but still noticeable.
Yeah.
Big time.
All right, Keith, thank you very much. A Noxubee County teacher has her students experimenting with education. Lily Nash Bryant teaches biology at Noxubee County High School. She's always trying to come up with exciting ways to get her students to connect with science. Bryant says science is not only about what you know, but what you can do with that knowledge.
Everyone is going to have to navigate through life. And the scientific method or the scientific process way of thinking helps you to solve problems. It helps you to think of alternative methods, other ways of doing things. I try my very best to make their coming here be something that they not only have to do, but that they're going to enjoy doing.
Bryant is our Educator of the Week. If you'd like to nominate a teacher, you can go to our website, WCBI.com. Even though his workout for NFL scouts was cut short, Ole Miss's Chad Kelly is keeping his draft hopes alive. Robbie has the details coming up.
WCBI's Educator of the Week is brought to you by Food Giant, where your neighbors are the owners. WCBI First Alert Weather School is brought to you by Emerson Animal Hospital in West Point. WCBI Sports with Robbie Donahoe.
Well, Ole Miss played in an extra inning thriller last night down in Pearl. Their rivals in Starkville said, hey, you can do it, so can we. MSU still in action right now against Florida International, but let's show you what has led to the extra inning affair. And how about Houston's Denver McQuarrie coming on in relief and in front of Andy Cannizaro in the fourth. He was looking good, get the strikeout there to end the inning. Now, Denver would get a little bit of help, and who else would it be from? Brent Rooker, his 11th home run of the year. That would make it a 6-5 game. The Golden Panthers were leading. Back to McQuarrie, who again just kept it rolling on the mound. 3 innings strong, 2 hits, no runs, 4 strikeouts on 39 total pitches. He's the reason why MSU has this as a tie game, and kind of a weird play how they got it tied. Swinging strike 3 for Ryan Gridley. He's out because the bases were loaded. Luke Alexander scores on the wild pitch, so we are tied at 7. That is the update, and as of right now, so it's still tied at 7. Jake Mangum is on first with no outs. Brent Rooker is up. We'll let you know if this game does go final at the conclusion of this sportscast. Well, after losing 5 of their last 6, Ole Miss just needed a win last night. Sure enough, they got one in a bizarre way as a wild pitch off an intentional walk in the 12th inning gave the Rebels a streak-snapping victory. Now they hope that snowballs into more going forward.
It's been tough for us for a couple weeks, and good team that hasn't played great, and but hadn't had a lot of breaks. A lot of things go our way, and we talked to before the game. We talked after the game on Saturday against State. You just got to keep pushing.
Losing 3 to your arch rival, that really sucks the life out of you. But to be able to bounce back and win in 11 or 12 innings, whatever it was, it's really, really uplifting for us as a team, especially going into another SEC weekend.
I hope that's our turning point to the season to get us back on track, because I know any game that's a win is always a good thing, and to win like that, it's fun and hopefully gets us back on track for sure.
Hey, Brent Rooker just hit a walk-off 2-run home run while we're on the air right now. So, hey, we're going to show it to you tomorrow on WCBI Sports. We'll also have it for you tomorrow morning on Sunrise if you're getting up early. That's an important win for the Bulldogs because Baseball America has them as a 2 seed in the Winston-Salem, North Carolina regional. That's Wake Forest's regional. Ole Miss currently one of the last 4 teams in according to Baseball America's regional predictions. Southern Miss would be a 2 seed. 9 SEC teams in are total. Florida is the only national seed, but plenty of 1 seeds from the Southeastern Conference, including South Carolina, Auburn, Arkansas, and Kentucky. LSU, Vanderbilt are also both in. Texas A&M and Missouri are the first 8 out. Let's hit the football field. As it was reported on Monday, Chad Kelly tweaked his right wrist during pro day at Ole Miss, but Quarterback Country, as you see right here, released some of Kelly's workout videos on social media today, and he's making 50, 60-yard passes.